With the days of the 12-cylinder automobile nearing their end, it is important to recognize the three German flagship 12-cylinder engines. These 12-cylinder engines were the pinnacle of performance, smoothness, and class. What used to be found in the flagship models of the big three German luxury car brands, Mercedes, BMW, and Audi, can only now be found in the unattainable class of luxury brands, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Maybach, and a little bit of AMG. All three of these engines have their own unique design, but they were designed for the same purpose, and that was to be the smoothest, most powerful, and most reliable power plants on the road. It is unfortunate to think that this will be the last generation of 12-cylinder engines produced, as manufacturers have to follow stricter and stricter emission standards, and as hybrids and EVs become more prevalent. While V12s may live on in niche supercars for a couple more years, this is the end of the road for high-displacement 12-cylinder engines in luxury high-performance land yachts. As Mercedes announced its S65 Final Edition, Rolls-Royce said in its next generation of vehicles they will be producing their own V12 in-house, and as V8 Bentleys continue to outsell W12 ones, the end of the 12-cylinder engine is near. These engines will be regarded as the pinnacle of combustion engine technology and will most likely have a cult following in the future. The BMW N74. Based on the twin-turbo 6.5-liter V12 found in the newest 760 Li, the stroke 6.6-liter V12 found in the new Rolls-Royces has been specifically upgraded for the Black Badge models with an ECU flash. The Black Badge Wraith specifically makes 624 horsepower and 642 pound-feet of torque, making peak power at 5250 RPM and peak torque at a low 1500 RPM. This dual overhead cam design is one of the more sophisticated engines out of the three, but with its conservative 11.6 pounds of boost, it's on par with engines with less displacement. Because the specific stroke version can only be found in a Rolls-Royce, and to get the extra power you need the Black Badge trim level, this is the most expensive engine option on the list, as you need $648,150 to get into one. The BMW N74 is rated for 12 miles per gallon city and 18 miles per gallon highway. The Bentley W12. The Bentley W12, also known as the WR12, is the most unique out of these three engine designs as it is more compact. This allows for all-wheel drive to be standard. Granted, the Cullinan with its V12 did have an all-wheel drive system, but it was developed specifically for Rolls-Royce. Unlike the W12 found in the Audi A8, this one for Bentley is twin-turbo. Developed for the new Continental Supersport, it now makes 700 horsepower and 750 pound-feet of torque, making peak power at 5900 RPM and peak torque at 2050 RPM. This is the most powerful engine in the lineup. The W12 is made by mating two VR6s together. This makes the engine short but wide. The dual overhead cam design also adds height to this engine. This engine design is the most complicated by far, and because of this, reliability is questionable. This engine gets 12 miles per gallon city and 20 on the highway. At less than half the price of the Rolls-Royce Wraith Black Badge, the Continental GT Supersport starts at $299,000. The Mercedes M279. The 6-liter V12 found in Mercedes 65 AMG cars and Maybach S-Classes is a variation of the 5.5-liter found in the 600 series. AMG increased stroke to get 6 liters and upgraded to bigger twin turbos to get 621 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. Peak horsepower was being made at 4800 RPM and peak torque was being made at 2300 RPM. M279 engine is unique for the fact that it produces so much torque while only having a single overhead cam and 3 valves per cylinder. Though the technology may not be as advanced as other engines in this lineup, the simplicity makes this engine very robust. The M279 also has the best fuel economy out of the three engines, 13 city, 22 highway, and is also the cheapest 12-cylinder engine in this list. In conclusion, the BMW comes up short at the bottom of the list. While it is the most under-stressed engine as it has the largest displacement and the second lowest horsepower, it is very expensive. Understandably, it's not in last place not only because it is the most expensive car, but because it's both a $330,000 premium over the base Wraith, and its BMW roots are known for their unreliability. This engine is very good at its purpose as it achieves peak torque at 1500 RPM. However, this just wasn't good enough to be better than the competitors as they're making 100 foot-pounds of torque more at only 500 to 800 RPM more. For the price, the engine should have made figures in the 700s. The fight for first and second place was close, and coming second is the Bentley W12. The W12, while being the most powerful, is known for its super compact packaging and being very difficult to work on. Its dual V6 design makes it the most unique engine out of the three, and because it is currently still in production, it still has room to improve. It currently sits as the most powerful in the lineup at 700 horsepower and 750 pound-feet of torque. It's more powerful, more efficient, and smaller than the BMW N74 while also being able to utilize all-wheel drive. This means, of course, the winner is the Mercedes M279. It is in the middle of the two in terms of horsepower and torque, but it makes up for that by being the simplest, most reliable, and most efficient. The Mercedes V12 platform is 19 years old at this point, which means its design has been proven. The M279 is the cheapest out of the three as you can get into a Maybach S650 for a starting price of $202,000. Mercedes is retiring the M279 after the S65 final edition and is said to discontinue V12 production completely. With smaller forced induction engines, hybrids, and EVs taking over the automotive industry, many companies simply don't have the incentive to keep producing high-cylinder, high-displacement engines. Hopefully companies like Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Aston Martin will keep the tradition going as the rest have decided it just isn't worth the resources.